All right. You know, you're not allowed to come in yet, Vaughn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think that we've already discussed this. I have theme music for you.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Let me leave.
You got to go back to the dressing room, and you'll know it when it's about to happen. You'll hear the crowd, you'll hear the cannons, and you'll hear the music. So, here we are, Beefcake, number 17, and Mr. Vaughn Rawls. How we doing, Vaughn Rawls?
Oh, man, I'm doing excellent. How are you doing?
Excellent entrance. Great entrance. Fantastic.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you here. This is great. I'm so happy that we're back doing this. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays is when we were going to have beefcakes and blogs.
Oh, man. You just committed to it.
Yes, I did. I want to tell you what happened last week.
All right. Please do.
I turned 40 years old.
Oh, wow. I knew it was your birthday, but I had no idea it was your 40th birthday.
The big 40.
Man, that's pretty special.
I think it's supposed to be, isn't it?
Yes, of course it is. Is that why you went to the beach?
No, we just happened to be going to the beach that week, and it worked out that way. Sure, it was special, and it was great, and I love being with my family. What could be more special than that?
Right.
But I think I was supposed to feel more something than I did.
Oh, yeah?
How old are you?
I'm 41.
Did you have any sort of, did turning 40 throw you off, or did turning 30 throw you off? Or?
I cannot believe you don't remember this, but when I turned 40, that was probably the greatest weekend of my life.
Oh my gosh! Yes, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we ran. Me and my buddy, or our buddy Brian Swanson, would turn 40 the same week, and so we threw a big shebang. Is that a word? Shebang.
Yeah, it's a word.
And we ran 40 miles, and we signed people up to run 1 mile at a time with us. And so we ran all day long and ran 40 miles.
That's right. That's right. And so that was a big deal, and that was a big party. But was the act of turning 40 hard on you, or did it change you, or was it something that you dreaded, or something that
no.
Was it a milestone?
Nah, not really. It was fun, but it didn't have any kind of mental effect on me, really.
I think that it's supposed to have a mental effect on you.
Really?
But it didn't me. I think that more than anything, I'm just glad to be 40.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
You know, I had a midlife crisis at about 25. So there's something to be said for getting some of that out of the way. I think that in order to go through life, there's a certain amount of ass that you're going to have kicked that belongs to you.
Okay.
And so getting your ass kicked on the front end of things provides for a easier slide on the back end. You think there's any truth to that, or you think I'm just making stuff up because it would fit me better?
No, I don't think you're making stuff up. I think it just depends on the individual, maybe.
Well, I don't foresee a midlife crisis coming in my direction.
Yeah.
I think I got that out of the way. I don't think it's all going to be smooth sailing, but I was sitting on the beach, and so I'm with my mom and my brother and my wife and my kids and my brother's kids. Everything just seems so right. I don't know that I've ever been so comfortable with myself as I was this past week.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was nice to sit there and just be, you know, a cakey, balding, fat guy that has a wonderful family and everything he could possibly ask for.
You're balding?
Yeah. My hair's thinning, man.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, don't go pointing it out.
Okay. It's because you're taller than me and I can't see it.
I think that helps, but don't be hovering around me when I'm squatting.
Oh, and I'm definitely going to be checking it out now.
you're going to give me an inferiority or a complex. Okay, so being just comfortable in my own skin was just a great feeling, and it got me to thinking, like, what do I want? What do I need? What do I need to make me happy? And I really couldn't think of anything. All the things that are supposed to kind of make people happy, either I have or I have had. Money being the primary thing. And seeing that didn't make me happy, I was kind of leaning on my family's health and my children's health.
Right.
And I don't think that I do a good enough job of just constantly looking around and saying, man, I have everything that I need right here around me.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be until one of those things was taken away that I would really, feel the burn.
Well, there's an interesting thing that, like, I heard somebody say the other day, and I'm gonna butcher it pretty bad, but most of the people in the world, if you like compare yourself to everyone on the planet, you're like in the top 2%. Most people live in even if you're living in poverty in the United States, you're still in like the top 2% of the world.
I read something that had percentages, like the percentage of people that, like, if you have a roof over your head, you're in the top this percent.
Right.
If you have clothes to wear, you're in this percent. If you have food to eat, you're in this percent. And I have no way of knowing if that's true or not, but I know that there's some truth to that.
Yeah. I mean, there's people, and we talked about this before, but there's people on the other side of the world, lots of them, that sleep on the ground and go kill their own food every single day and don't have a car and don't have a computer and don't have telephones and clothes.
And while I sit on the edge of a beach with a 4-bedroom condo and complain about having to put suntan lotion on my kid.
Yeah, but you're going, and the traumatic thing that's going to happen to us is, my car broke down and I don't have a car, or
I'm running out of cell phone battery. I can't
right.
find my charger.
Where's my phone? I cracked my screen on my phone and it doesn't work anymore.
Well, part of what brought this blog on is that there's an article that I read on Bill Wilson. And Bill Wilson was the founder of Alcoholics Anonymous.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we've talked about him before.
Well, there's a lot to be said for the guy.
Right.
After he had been sober for years and years, I don't know how many, but it was quite some time, he still was battling with episodes of depression. And so he had this spiritual guide, or, he was really a friend, but he was a spiritual advisor, and his name was Father Edward Dowling. He went to Father Dowling with basically just, broken. And he said, after all that I've been through, after all the trials and tribulations, after all of this, is this all that there is? And Father Downing's response was, yes, this is all you got. What you have is all you got. And how you play those cards and how you decide to live your life is strictly up to you.
And this was after he had already gotten himself sober and all that?
This was after he had been sober for years.
Huh.
I thought that was really profound that, regardless of the situation, this is it. We're always waiting for something to happen, and we're always planning on, our ship coming in.
Yeah.
But it's not very often that we look around and we say, this is it, man. This is all we got.
Yeah, you're already in a pretty awesome ship.
Exactly. That's exactly right. We're in a badass boat. We are in the Titanic that didn't sink.
Right.
I make it a habit of, how I am. I talk to everybody that I come in contact with.
Sure.
When I'm talking to people at the cashier at the gas station, or the person at Walgreens, or whoever it is that I come face to face with, and I ask them how they're doing, I realize that it's fine for them to do this, but I ask how you're doing, they say, okay. Or how you doing, and they say fine. And I usually say, you can do better than that. And a lot of times I'll get a smile and we'll talk. and it seems to cheer them up a little bit. Or I just kind of get the, what's wrong with you? Like nobody talks to people like that. But I just think that okay and fine is terrible. I think that's a terrible way to go through life, is okay and fine. Now, I realize that I'm being a little bit out there.
Yeah.
That you can't expect everybody to be happy all the time. That's not what I'm getting at. But just kind of getting comfortable as a society with just kind of being okay. I'm just kind of fine.
Yeah.
I think that sucks.
I'm making it.
Yeah.
I'm hanging in there. It's okay to say, hey, man, I'm doing good.
Yeah, and it's okay to say, man, I'm not doing worth a damn.
Right. Just be honest. Like, don't be like Eeyore. Don't be like,
that's it.
I guess
the apathy.
I guess I'm okay. But but if you're not feeling good, be honest. Like, man, I feel like shit, or everything's going great. I can have nothing to complain about.
I think that there should be classes taught on how to be honest with what how it is that you feel. I always go back to rehab. I'm always going back to therapy. I think everything that I really learned and learned well has been because of some kind of therapy or rehab or mental institute.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That makes sense.
But we weren't allowed to say that we were fine or we were okay. They would stop you and say, you have to use a feeling word. You have to say what you're actually feeling.
Right.
How are you? I'm angry. How are you? I'm sad.
And
How are you? I'm depressed.
Would people say that? Would people say those words? Or?
Yeah, you had to. You're put on the spot. You didn't really have a choice.
Yeah.
And you didn't have any shoelaces and you weren't walking out the door. So you had to cooperate at some point.
Right.
And it taught me a lot. It taught me to be aware of how I'm actually feeling.
Yeah.
I went through a really dark period of time feeling fine and being okay when there was no part of me that was fine or okay.
Uh-huh.
And I just think there's a lot to be said for, being honest about how you really are doing. And learn to be comfortable telling people, I'm not doing good at all.
Right. I feel like average people, or not average people, but people that aren't like addicts would probably benefit from rehab.
For sure.
Like you just said a minute ago, like, you always go back to it and always end up talking about something that happened at rehab because you were looking at yourself in an honest way. A lot of people aren't able to do that.
The 12 steps of any recovery program is not necessarily, it's the same on whatever 12-step program you're working. So there's a lot of people who can benefit from working steps and taking inventory and learning about their life. And you're right. A lot of people could stand to benefit from it. And that's not the fault of anyone certainly not of anyone who hasn't been to a mental institute. But there's something to be said for getting on the path to enlightenment.
Sure. To
understanding. I mean, you know how it is. Sometimes you don't know how bad you feel until you feel good.
Yeah.
Or you don't know how good you feel until you feel bad.
And you don't know what you're saying sometimes until you start paying attention to the things that you're saying. Start paying attention to when people ask you how you're doing, what is your answer?
Be aware of that.
Right.
And be aware that is either taking or giving energy from that other person. If every time you see me walk in the gym and you're like, how you doing, Wilson? I'm like, my back is killing me. My toenails are falling off. I just, you're just going to be it's going to suck the life out of everybody around.
I guess I made it to another day. I've known Eeyores before, man. I've known plenty of them.
Well, I think there's a lot more Eeyores than there are. I don't know who else to compare it to, but a lot more Eeyores than there are positive people. It can be obnoxious. I know that.
Right.
And I'm not saying that everyone should be this way or that way, but I am saying it would be nice if we were all kind of in touch with what we were feeling.
Yeah, for sure. You are like on the expert level. You're like a level 30 how you doing guy.
You think that? I'm glad to hear you
yeah,
say
for
that.
sure. Like
sometimes I wonder.
Yeah, because you make me feel like, oh my God, he can't feel like that all the time, you know. Like, and then I feel bad about my answers when I'm like, because I get that question from you every day, most likely every day of my life. Some days I have a good answer, and other days I'm like, you know what, I'm doing good. You know, so and it does cause me to reflect every single time you ask me that question. So,
and I want to know. I'm not asking because, hey man, how's it going? I want to know, how are you doing?
Right, for
What's
sure.
up? Like spit it out, or let's get to it. I want to hear the good and the bad.
Right.
But just walking around being fine doesn't do it for me. Because
right.
If I'm walking around being fine, I'm bored, and if I'm bored, I'm miserable.
Yes, gotcha.
I just can't do that. I have to dance on the lighter side of things, just because I'm constantly being pulled in the other way. I had a friend of mine that she says it's either about relapse or recovery. Either she's recovering and getting better, or she's getting closer to the drink. And I think that I'm always going one direction or the other, but it's recovery or relapse. There's no standing still. There's no just being okay.
And it's going to be that way forever.
I think so. I hope so.
Yeah.
She's 23 years sober, and she continues to get happier and happier. And her point is, if she stands still, she's toast.
I gotcha. Okay.
If she's just apathetic, if people like me and her just kind of, we're just gonna kind of make it.
Yeah.
Kind of making it is really sitting in quicksand.
Right. I got you.
Because my kind of making it is running the other way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that was my birthday. My birthday, as you can imagine, was sitting in a beach chair and just taking it all in.
Well, that's
just
awesome, man. I'm glad it was special.
It was very special.
What was your 30th birthday? Pretty special too, or do you remember?
I have no idea. I know that I feel a hell of a lot better I think at 30 I probably felt 70, and at 40 I feel 20.
Nice. That's pretty awesome.
Which was a question that I had for you. I don't want to run this too long, but I know that you feel good as a 40-year-old, as a 41-year-old, athletic and active and happy as you are.
Right.
But did it not seem like that 40-year-olds were much older when we were younger?
I encounter people on a regular basis that are the same age as me outside of my normal environment. And I'm like, oh my God, you look old. To answer your question, I feel like I don't look like what I thought 40-year-olds looked like 20 years ago.
And you think that's just with your circle and not as a whole? I mean, it just seems to me that 40 is a lot younger than it used to be.
Because the people around you that you see that are 40 every single day are pretty fit individuals, is what I'm saying. You said, do you think 40-year-olds look less young today? I was going to say, no, they look the same. I just spend time with other 40-year-olds. I was going to say you, but then as I was saying it, I realized that I see you and I know you because of the gym. So most of the people that I know these days, and it all occurred to me kind of within the same thought. So you and everybody in my fit circle are an exception, I believe, because most 40-year-olds that I see outside of that environment, like when I go to the grocery store or go to Walmart, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe you're 40 years old. You look like crap. It strikes a chord with me because I watch people that it's like a task to get out of their car and walk into the store.
Yeah.
And these people are in their 40s.
And that happens so easily.
I know. I just can't understand it. Like I tell my wife all the time, if it was hard for me to get up and walk to my car, I don't even know how I would exist.
I don't have any problem seeing that. I think I can understand that That's why I think I'm so fortunate that I'm not that, because I could so easily be that.
Yeah. I mean, it's different.
I'm still fearful of going back to that.
Yeah. I mean, caveat. I mean, some people are disabled, and that's fine. But what I'm talking about is an otherwise like normal person that is just unhealthy and unable to move.
Well, you know what that person needs. They need a three-month deadlift program.
That's right. That they need a 3-month deadlift program.
And thank God.
Thank God.
We have one.
That's right. liftheavyrunlong.com/deadlift.
Because Von Rawls has created this fantastic 3-month deadlift program. And
That's
it is
right.
fantastic.
I think it
is.
is.
It was. I want to make it clear that it was created by Von Rawls and not Wilson Horrell, in case you're wondering. That will probably put you at ease to some degree.
I think it's important for me to say why it was created. It was created because we built this pretty awesome community, and what I've been hearing from what I was hearing from a lot of different people was that they weren't sure they would love to be in that 5,400 deadlift club or really just get stronger in general and start lifting weights, and they weren't sure how to get started. So a light bulb went off, and here we are. We have that program for you.
Yeah, and there's no better all the way around to get stronger than deadlifting.
Right on.
You know what else we got?
What's that?
We got Twitter.
That's right.
And I'm tweeting, and I'm Instagramming, and we're Facebooking. And you need to go to @LiftRunLong and come see us there. And check out our Facebook page.
Yep.
And Reddit.
Yep.
Tell me that address again.
www.reddit.com/r/liftheavyrunlong.
I want people to send me your theme music. I'm so excited about your theme music that I want to use a different theme music every episode.
I think I'm so thrilled about that.
I couldn't tell if you were thrilled or annoyed.
No, I was. You messaged me about it earlier today, and I didn't write you back because I was number one, had a super hard workout today. It just threw me off track, and then I was like super busy all day long with tasks. I mean, I didn't stop all day, so I'm really excited about that, and it makes me feel special. Like when I heard it on the last one, I was like, oh yeah, that's really cool.
I laugh just putting that thing together, just learning how to do it, just searching through the songs that I wanted to use was just, man, a tripping time.
Awesome.
And then I thought, even if he hates this, it's all the more reason to continue doing it. I can't stop now.
Sure. Yeah.
And so now I need people to come to me with cheesy music or just whatever music, and I'll tie it in with your intro.
Yeah, you totally can't lose on that because I'll either love it or I'll hate it, and either way you'll be satisfied.
I'll be happy. It'll be better than being in there in the middle. Relapse or recovery.
That's right.
Relapse or recovery. And this could lead to you getting a robe, like a wrestling robe that you wear everywhere, and when you walk into the gym, you just throw it off your shoulders.
Right.
Or even having somebody catch that robe when it comes off your shoulders. You never know. And then I also want to say thank you to Ted Horrell and the Monday Night Card for the music that they're providing us.
That's awesome. Thanks, Ted.
We're in good shape, man. And I look forward we'll be back on Monday.
Yep.
She's not good. She's not good for you. No need to tell you. Because you know she's not bad, she's just bad for you. My advice for you is